Good morning, all of you. Once again, welcome. So, we are studying about the biphasic liquid dosage form, that is suspension, right? So, already we have covered in our previous lecture, that is introduction of suspension and some advantages of disadvantages of that, and also we had starting the classification, right? Then suspension are basically classified into four types on the basis of their pharmaceutical use, right? Likewise, oral suspension, parenteral suspension, ophthalmic suspension, and suspension for external use, right? So, in our previous lecture, we have done this two kind of suspension, that is oral and parenteral. So, let's begin with its remaining portion. So, that is the ophthalmic suspension. Generally, it is ophthalmic means related to our eyes, right? Means the suspension are basically instilled into our eye cavity, right? So it's called as suspension or ophthalmic suspension. Generally, it is not popular as like eye drops. It is rarely used. Means generally for the treatment of eye, there is various kind of eye drops are monophasic liquid dosage form. That is, eye drops are basically used, right, for the eye. But the suspension, that's why it is not popular, because eye drop is very popular than the ophthalmic suspension. And so ophthalmic suspension are rarely used, means not commonly used, it is rarely used, right? Then it formulate when drug insoluble in desired solvent or unstable in liquid form, right? Means in case of our medicament which is we need to dispense, that is insoluble in our desired solvent or liquid, or that drugs are not stable in liquid form, right? Not stable in liquid form means there is a two condition in condition we can formulate the suspension, ophthalmic suspension dosage form, right? If in case of our drug is insoluble in our desired solvent or desired vehicle, that time, or also the that particular drug are not stable in a liquid form, that time we will prefer the suspension form for the ophthalmic purpose, right? Ophthalmic purpose. So due to this reason, that is the insoluble drug and instability of drug in a liquid form, that time we prefer the ophthalmic suspension for ophthalmic use, right? Some as like the our previous class or type, it it is also some qualities, means our ophthalmic or eye of suspension should fulfill the some properties or some conditions, right? So let's see what which are they. Its particle size should less, so that it should not cause any irritation to eyes, right? As like we are know that the suspension are contain a insoluble drugs, right? Insoluble parts, that's why there is a chances of causing the irritation during after installation into the eyes. If our ophthalmic suspension contain a co- large particles, that that time after installation we will get a irritation to the eyes, right? So that's why it become a complicated. That's why the particle size of ophthalmic suspension should be very fine or very less, right, in order to prevent the irritation to the eyes. So this is the one condition, that is which is must fulfill by the ophthalmic suspension, that is its particles should less, means it should have very fine particles of insoluble drug, right? That should not cause any irritation to eyes. Then our second condition, that is our ophthalmic suspension should be sterile, right? As like our parenteral preparation also the sterile or ophthalmic preparation or ophthalmic suspension should be sterile, right? Because it is directly come in contact with the or systemic circulation, right? That's why the parenteral as well as the ophthalmic preparation must should be sterile, right? So then it should be isotonic, right? As like our parental preparation, the ophthalmic preparation also should be isotonic, means that preparation should have a same tonicity as like our eye fluid, right? That is our tears or any fluid which is present in our eye cavity, right? Then that isotonicity is maintained by adding the the 0.9% weight by volume of sodium chloride solution, right? That's why our this ophthalmic suspension should has a same isotonicity as like our tear also, right? Then it have a desired viscosity, that our preparation must have a desired viscosity or good viscosity, means our suspension should have a viscosity like our tear, right? Our tear viscosity. Viscosity is very necessary for the preparation, because after installation it should be remain into our eyes for a specific period of time. Otherwise, if our viscosity of our preparation is very less, that time after installation the preparation should remove the preparation will remove out from our eyes during the small blinking, right? That's why for the preventing the loss of our preparation from the eyes after installation, our preparation should be desired viscosity, right? Should have a desired viscosity. It should be packed in a suitable container so that it can be instilled easily into the eyes, right? Means as like our eye drops, also the eye suspension or ophthalmic suspension should be packed in a suitable container in order to that preparation should be or can be instilled easily into eyes, right? That's why it is very necessary to pack in a suitable container, right? Because easy installation of preparation into the eyes. So it is all about the ophthalmic suspension, right? Means these conditions should be fulfilled by the ophthalmic preparation, right? Then after that, our last one, that is suspension for external use. Suspension for external use, as its name itself indicate that, or itself says that it is the suspension which are applied externally or used externally, right? So let's see. This type of suspension are prepared for external application. For example, lotions, inhalation, and eye drops. Ear drops. It's not eye drops. It's ear drops, right? Means these are this suspension for external use, like lotions. The lotions also available in suspension form also, as like in our previous lecture we had a study about the lotion that is a that contain a that is a monophasic kind of lotion, right? But in which there is a one kind of suspension which is dispensed in a lotion form, that is suspension, that is a lotion containing suspension, right? Then some inhalation, some inhaler type of preparation also dispensed in a suspension form, right? In suspension also dispense in a with the inhaler, it is one kind of device, right? That means inhaler contains some either inhaler are prepared with a two kind of preparation, like either liquid or suspension, right? If most of the time the liquid inhaler are used commonly, right? But sometime also the if our drug is insoluble, that time the suspension inhaler are preferred, as same like our lotion also, right? Then eardrops also available in our suspension form also, right? That lotions, then inhaler, and eye drops are externally applied or externally used. That's why these kind of suspension are called as a suspension suspension used for externally, right? Then its particle size is very less to avoid the grittiness. Means the external suspension should have the very very fine particles, because to avoid the grittiness, right? Grittiness means our rough effect. Grittiness means rough effect. If the suspension externally applied if the lotions contain the large particle size, right, during the application, there is a chances of roughness, rough feeling or some irritation feeling during the application of the lotions containing the large particle size. That's why the lotions also or external suspension also should have a less particle size for avoiding the grittiness or roughness if feeling, right? In lotion, suspended particles evaporate after application on skin and leaving light deposit of a drug on the skin surface. Means in lotion means lotion in a suspension form, right? In lotions in a suspension form, that lotion containing the suspended particles, right, and that evaporate after the application of the skins. Means in case of lotion preparation that contain a particle side after application on a proper on a desired place or a local place, after application of that, uh, the particles leaving us light deposit on or make a some layer on the application site, right? So that's why the means lotion have a this kind of properties. Means the suspended particle evaporate, means some portion of particles evaporate out and some portion of particles make a thin layer on the skin surface, thin layer of drug on the skin surface. That's why we will get a uh, good desired effect or desired therapeutic action. The lotion is easy to apply and less messy than other semi-solid external product. Means lotion in a suspension form is a very we can easily applied it, right? And it become a less, and it is a less messy. Means not a, means it does not give a oily feeling. It does not give a oily feeling like our cold cream, cold cream, then cold cream are very messy feel. It gives a messy feeling. And but the suspension lotion in suspension form, it is a less messy, right? So it is preferred generally. Then calamine lotion, these are the one calamine lotion is a one kind of the suspension that is which is externally applied, right? So this is the one example of lotion suspension, lotion containing suspension, right? Then lotion which are applied on the broken or inflamed skin should be sterile. Means the externally what suspension should be, if uh, the lotions contain a suspension that is that are applied on your broken skin or inflamed skin, right? That time that preparation should be sterile. Means lotion in suspension form should be sterile, right? Because it is applied on broken skin or inflamed skin, right? That's why it must be sterile. Then there is a some another portion, that is flocculation and deflocculated suspension. There is a two kind of suspension. Means one is that is a flocculated and other is non-flocculated. Non-flocculated is a unstable preparation of suspension, and flocculated is a stable form of suspension, right? But this is the unflocculated suspension formulate. If our any mistake happen in our formulation, that time we will get the non flow loaded suspension, but very